Welcome to my series, Senator Babet, Political Hulk, Episode 5, When the State Promised Too Much. I'm Dr. J.W. Ayub. Every age chooses what it trusts most: a government, an institution, a global authority, or something beyond political power.
It is a terrible God. It is a terrible God. If you look to Canberra, if you look to the United Nations, if you look to those people to be our saviours, you are going to be made a slave. That's what's going to happen. Politics needs Jesus Christ because Christ humbles power. Okay? Christ reminds the state that politicians are fallible men who will one day eventually have to answer to a higher power, to a higher throne. To see how far Western civilization has drifted, look at the cult-like obsession with net zero. Yeah, if you want to talk about religions, there's one for you. We're witnessing the systematic deindustrialization of the West, handed down by unelected, undemocratic and unaccountable globalist bureaucrats at the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, and every other of these globalist institutions who think that their citizens are cattle to be managed. It's how they think. These people, they don't care about national identity. They don't care about your prosperity. They don't care about working class families, and let's be honest, they don't even care about the environment. This is not about the environment at all. Net zero is a power grab designed to control the populace and enrich predatory global elites and institutions. Okay? That's what it is. I'm all for saving the environment. Let's save the environment, but let's do practical, real things. Let's stop cutting down old growth forests. Let's stop plastics going into the ocean. Let's stop chemicals going into the estuaries and rivers. Let's do what we can to reduce, reuse and recycle. Let's do practical, real world things to benefit the environment. Our federal government, led by our resident climate high priest, Chris Bowen, they are dismantling our competitive advantage. That's what they're doing. They're dismantling it. We should be an energy superpower.
Viewers, this chapter argues that politics is an important but limited role. The speech contends that governments exist to serve rather than become the highest authority over society. Criticises international institutions and net zero policies, presenting them as examples of growing centralised influence that, in the Speaker's view, in Senator Babet's view, risks reducing national sovereignty and individual freedom. While supporting practical environmental stewardship, the speech distinguishes local conservation measures from broader political programs. It characterises as expanding institutional power. The central message is that power should remain accountable and restrained rather than an end in itself.
We should be. We sit on abundant, cheap, reliable coal, gas, uranium and everything else. Okay? Yet we're dismantling our coal-fired power plants. We're replacing them with costly, unreliable wind and solar. You know what the renewable energy movement is? It's a scam. That's what, it's a scam. The only thing renewable about renewable energy is the cost. That's it. You know what? I'll tell you how. Every 15 to 20 years, you rip up hillsides covered in wind turbines, you tear down millions of solar panels and you put them in landfill. How is that environmental? Not at all. And where do we buy all these panels and batteries from? Somebody said it, China. We buy from China. The Chinese Communist Party is laughing at us. We cripple ourselves with these crazy climate policies while the CCP right now builds hundreds of regular coal-fired power plants. They use cheap energy to power their factories. They process rare earth minerals and they sell us back wind turbines and solar panels at a profit to them. It's garbage. It's an engineered transfer of wealth and production from the West to an authoritarian foreign power. That's what's going on. And where are all the environmentalists when it comes to the human cost of the green fantasies? What about the cobalt mines in the Congo, where kids work in dangerous conditions to feed battery supply chains? They're silent also on the natural landscapes that are being destroyed for so-called clean green energy. They're silent because the climate agenda is not about climate. It never was. It is, and it was always about control. That's what it's about. If the government cared about reducing emissions and reliable 24/7 baseload power, lift the ban on nuclear energy. Just lift the ban. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything else. Just lift the ban. Okay? I know that nuclear might get a bad rap amongst some people, but the facts are the facts. And the facts are that nuclear is safe, it's efficient, and it's proven. It's used by our closest allies. But I know you're going to think about, Chernobyl, a bunch of drunk Russians. It's not the same thing as what we have today. Not the same thing. And this is a huge country. A facility can be built on the existing footprint of a coal station right now. Existing footprint. All you got to do is just plug it into the existing transmission lines that are already there, and you can power millions of homes without damaging our prime agricultural land that we use to grow food with turbines and
Viewers, power works best when it remembers its limits, because the moment institutions expect unquestioning trust, freedom begins asking difficult questions. In Senator Babet's next part of his talk, we'll look at when the West stopped believing in itself.